The secret that makes women regret leaving strong men. No games, no begging. You're sitting there staring at your iPhone, watching her Instagram story from a rooftop in Miami with some guy in a muscle tee. She blocked you on WhatsApp after you typed a paragraph that made you look desperate. Your buddies saw you at Target buying flowers like a last-second Hail Mary. She stopped respecting you the moment you started pleading. That knot in your stomach? That's humiliation. That's the tax you pay for forgetting who you are. Here's the hard truth. Strong men don't chase. Strong men create distance, rebuild power, and let the world come to them. Today, I'm going to show you the exact shift that flips the dynamic back in your favor. Not tricks, not revenge, strategy, frame, mission. The kind of presence that makes her double take when she hears your name in a group chat, or sees you walk into a Soho house looking cleaner, calmer, harder to reach. The kind of discipline that turns silence into pressure and your life into a statement. By the end of this video, you'll understand the one principle that restores respect after a breakup, why no contact is nothing without a purpose, how to handle her "Hey stranger" text like a man, and the daily moves that make regret inevitable, without you saying a word. If you're serious about this, subscribe now. And check the first pinned comment. There's a bonus breakdown with scripts, boundaries, and a checklist to keep you from slipping when the emotions hit at midnight. In the next part, we start with the first non-negotiable rule. The move most men get wrong in the first 48 hours after the breakup. Are you ready to stop chasing and become the man she can't ignore, even in silence? Good. Then we start where most men bleed out in the first 48 hours. You stop the noise. You cut the performance. You go dark with intent. No contact isn't a tantrum, it's a decision. You close the door so you can rebuild the house. And you do it without announcements, without cryptic stories, without fishing for pity in group chats. Calm, clean, final. Here's where boys masquerading as men implode. They camp on her Instagram like a night watchman, counting who liked her rooftop boomerang. They refresh, scroll, pretend it doesn't hurt, and then they DM at 1:13 a.m. with a "Do you miss us?" They write novels begging for another chance, and every sentence subtracts respect. They drink rye in a Brooklyn bar, walk home wobbling, and send voice notes that sound like apologies mixed with threats, mixed with tears. In the daylight, they accept the consolation prize. We can still be friends, right? They think proximity is strategy. It's not. It's self-sabotage in costume. Hear me, no stalking, no begging, no drunken outreach, no friendship after romance. Each act is a public forfeiture of your frame. Each act tells the world you're available for discount. A man doesn't auction himself. What's the secret that makes women regret walking? Scarcity with a spine. Not silence as revenge, silence as redefinition. Purpose becomes your alibi. Distance becomes your language. Your life starts speaking louder than your memories. And that's when the pressure flips. Not because you forced it, because you stopped being for sale. You do it like a don in a tailored suit on a quiet Sunday. Minimal words, maximum direction. You secure your perimeter. You mute her stories, you archive the thread, you remove reminders that hijack your mornings. Not to erase her, to protect you. You set your mornings like a court date. Wake early, cold shower, lift heavy, run the hill, read a chapter, eat like an adult. You don't post thirst traps, you post nothing. Mystery is not a trick, it's a byproduct of focus. Ever notice how the men who say nothing get asked about the most? Exactly. Pause. Ask yourself a real question. If a camera crew followed you for 7 days, would it capture a man with a mission or a man orbiting an X? If the answer hurts, good. That pain is the invoice. Pay it by changing the footage. There's a trapdoor around day 3. She likes a photo from last year. She views your story twice. She texts you, "Hey stranger." See the test. Do not sprint toward it. You respond like a CEO if you respond at all. Brief, neutral, no warmth you didn't earn. You never write paragraphs, you never explain your side, you never audition. Presence beats poetry. If she asks to catch up, you're busy. If she wants to still be in your life, you decline with grace. Respectfully, no. Boundaries are attractive because they're rare. Let me show you a man who did it right. Noah, 32, electrician from Milwaukee. Blue collar, good heart, dated his college girlfriend for 5 years. She left in March, said she needed space, started appearing at Bucks games on another man's suite level by April. Noah spiraled the first week, drove past her apartment twice, wrote the apology manifesto that would have made Hemingway cringe, almost hit send after a six-pack and a lonely Friday. Then he saw himself in a dark window on Brady Street and didn't recognize the man looking back. He called his older brother a Marine and heard 4 words: "Shut up and build." Noah erased the message, blocked her number, not to punish, to protect, and vanished into the work. He took overtime, paid off his truck, joined a jiu-jitsu gym, kept his head shaved clean, picked up a side hustle wiring custom home theaters. Sundays were for church and silence. He replaced Saturday nights at dive bars with 6 a.m. deadlifts and meal prep. No posts, no subtweets, no fishing. Months pass. He gets promoted to foreman. New boots, new walk, new friends. He smiles without posting it. Late August, a buddy's wedding on Lake Michigan. Noah walks in wearing a navy suit that actually fits, shoulders squared, eyes settled. She's there. She looks, then looks again. Mid-reception, she floats over with nostalgia in her voice. "We should catch up sometime." He nods, polite like a gentleman. He doesn't chase. He doesn't rehearse revenge. He leaves with his boys. On Monday, she texts, "Hey, stranger." He sees it during a toolbox lunch. He puts the phone down. He finishes his sandwich. Later, he replies with decency and distance, "Hope you're well." Nothing more, no reconsideration. He isn't cold. He's unavailable. 2 weeks later, he meets a woman at church who respects time and straight talk. Because he became a man with a gait, he controls who enters. Note the pattern. He didn't win with tricks. He won by scarcity earned through mission. He didn't parade new dates to make her jealous. He guarded his energy like cash in a briefcase. That's the secret. Men who are hard to replace are men no longer trying to be chosen. Lean in. This matters. Attraction after a breakup isn't about absence alone. It's about the contrast between who you were and who you are now. Absence without evolution is just silence. Absence with evolution becomes signal. You become a rumor. Your name starts circulating in rooms you aren't in. The barista at Blue Bottle says you've been reading at 6 a.m. The guy at the gym tells someone you don't miss leg day. A cousin mentions you turned down a party to work on a certification. When she hears, the calculus shifts. Not because you begged, but because you built. So you set codes, your personal law. Written in stone, not in your notes app. You live them, you don't announce them. Silence is leverage. Mission before emotion. Presence over paragraphs. No friendship after intimacy. Never negotiate attraction. Every day, test yourself against your own law. When your hands reach for the phone at midnight, you stop. When your mind writes speeches while you shower, you stop. When your friend says, "Just hit her up, bro," you change the subject. You become the man who doesn't leak. Self-control is masculine fragrance. People feel it before you speak. Here's a reveal most men miss. You don't need to prove you've changed to her. You need to prove it to the mirror. If the mirror believes, the world follows. If the mirror doubts, every interaction exposes the crack. You can't hide a shaky frame behind designer clothes. You can't outpost insecurity. You can't fake a mission. The mission either wakes you before the alarm or it doesn't. What about when she circles back harder? The late night thinking about you. The nostalgic playlist she sends. The invite to grab coffee, nothing serious. You don't punish. You don't gloat. You hold your standard. If your paths cross, you're composed, direct, and brief. If she asks what you've been up to, you answer like a man who has commitments. Busy, focused, no details she didn't earn. Curiosity is a currency. Spend it slowly. And if she wants back in, she meets the new terms. Courting, consistency, accountability. You don't slide. You interview. Because a man with a mission doesn't add weight he can't carry. But there's another trap. More dangerous than the drunk text. The friend seat she offers when she still wants your energy, but not your body. That seat looks safe. It kills you quiet. You're not her friend. You can wish her well from across the street. You can be civil without being available. You can keep your soul intact by keeping your distance. Mercy without access. That's royalty. Some of you are asking right now, if I do all this, will she regret it? Wrong question. Proper question. If I do all this, will I respect myself? Answer that and watch how the world reorganizes. Regret is a side effect. Self-respect is the prescription. Reset. Look at your week. Where do you leak? The neighborhood bar where you spiral. The playlist that drags you back to winter. The commute where you daydream about old photos. Replace them like a general moves troops. New route, new gym, new ritual. You are not a tourist in your own life. You are the architect. Build like people you love will live in what you make. And understand this, America, we love a comeback story. From Detroit shops to Silicon Valley garages, from Queens basements to Texas ranches, this country respects the man who rebuilds. You don't need her validation. You need your own verdict. When you carry yourself like a man who can walk away, you become the man she second guesses losing. It's not magic. It's math. We're not done. In the final act, I'm going to hand you the exact sentence that closes the door on desperation forever. The boundary line you'll deliver the next time someone offers you maybe when you deal in yes or no. And I'll expose the last test she'll throw when she senses your frame is back and how to pass it with 2 words. Stay with me. The verdict is coming. Here's the verdict. Respectfully, I don't do maybe. It's yes or no. If it's not a yes, it's a no. And when she throws that last test to see if your frame has really returned, you pass with 2 words. No thanks. That's how strong men close the door on desperation. Not with drama, with direction. Scarcity with a spine. You don't punish, you don't parade. You make your life expensive and your access limited. Purpose becomes your alibi. Distance becomes your language. Your calendar, your sleep, your lifts, your money, tight. Your words, few. Your presence felt. Reread the law and burn it in. Silence is leverage. Mission before emotion. Presence over paragraphs. No friendship after intimacy. Never negotiate attraction. You're not auditioning. You're selecting. You're the gate, not the guest. She circles back with coffee, nothing serious. You don't lecture. You don't explain. You hold the line. I don't do maybe. If it isn't a clear yes, it's a clean no. That's not cold. That's healthy. You're not for sale. America respects builders. Monday in Kansas City or Friday in Queens, it's the same math. Value rises when a man governs himself. You protect your perimeter. You keep your schedule like a court date. You invest in craft, body, faith, cash flow. You don't peacock. You produce. That's how regret finds you without you lifting a finger. Now the mirror. Tonight, lights off. No playlist, no whiskey courage. Just you and your reflection. Would you hire the man staring back? Would you trust him with your time, your money, your family name? If the answer isn't a loud yes, you've got work due. Pay the invoice. Change the footage. Become the man you'd follow. 1 word. Let it cut into your week like a blade. Standard. If you're done chasing and ready to build a life that makes noise without posts, subscribe now. Like this if you felt the slap of truth. Drop no thanks in the comments to lock your boundary, or share the 1 code you're engraving first. Men who commit in public tend to execute in private. Walk like a man who can walk away, and watch who starts walking toward you. So ordered.